Hi, my friends. Lisa Ann with Carma Fitness. Tonight, we're going to discuss a few topics. The topics are going to be okay, I don't know if that first part went through, but hello, this is Lisa Ann with Carma Fitness. Today, I am doing my live Q&A as well as covering some topics that I think are of importance. Last week we did meal prep hacks and tricks. I hope you all enjoyed it. I definitely am learning how to utilize videos more and more, so thank you for being patient with me. Today I want to cover the topic of boundaries and self-care. These are things that I think are super important right now to really look inside ourselves and focus on, because I know, especially as women, from a young age, we are taught to prioritize the other and to pretty much put ourselves last. So I am a strong advocate for putting ourselves first, whether you're male or female. I think that when we can put ourselves first, we're much happier people and we're much more well equipped to be there for the others in our lives. There are many situations in life where we will go through the highs and lows of whatever, life brings us. And I've said this before, life is not linear. It is a roller coaster. And so when we can actually recognize that and acknowledge that, we are much more capable of maneuvering whatever comes our way and truly being our best self. So with that being said, I'm going to cover boundaries first. With boundaries, we really have to look inside of our own internal knowing. And for a lot of us in Western culture, we have a hard time with that because we are so disconnected from our heart center. We are more connected to our minds. And it's very difficult for us to be able to always listen to our bodies. I think that when we're able to actually listen to our bodies and listen to our knowing, we are much more in alignment with who we are, and we're much, much, much more able to find the gratitude, the good times, and the happiness in life. So with that being said, having a boundary is not being a bitch. And that is a very difficult concept to grasp as a woman, just because, like I said, we are taught from a young age to appease others, put ourselves last, keep our voices down, way less, don't eat a lot, really trying to maneuver through these self-imposed standards that really are not, they don't have our best interests at heart. So a couple things that I want to say is, when it comes to boundaries, just by saying no, that's an answer. That's a full sentence. You don't have to, if there's something that makes you uncomfortable and you really don't want to do it, you just say no. And I know that seems so simplistic, but it's really hard for some people, myself included. And I was raised to be a people pleaser and to try to make others happy, even at the cost of my own happiness. And that is a dead end road. It really is. So, going over the last few years and the things that I have achieved, I did that for myself. I didn't do it because I needed someone else to tell me, hey, oh, you're so great, Lisa, you did this and you achieved that. No, it was because I wanted to do it for myself. But there were many times that I hit obstacles of people telling me, no, you can't do this. Hey, you're not showing me enough attention. You're not, prioritizing me. And at the end of the day, the mantra that has really served me is me first. And sometimes that may seem a little harsh, but at the end of the day, if you don't put yourself first in this life, the people that you care about in your life are actually going to suffer more, because you're not at your best self. You're not at 100%. You're lacking, trying to give to everyone else, and you're the one who suffers. So someone described it to me years ago. The planes crashing, the masks fall down, right? What do they say? They say, put your mask on first, and then you can assist others and help them with their mask. If you do not have your mask on first, how are you going to help others? How are you going to be able to be there for others if you're not even there for yourself? So that's where boundaries come into play. You have to listen to your internal knowing, and you have to know when you're full. So what I mean by that is when you're able to really recognize, like, hey, you know what? I know I committed to going to this party weeks ago. I mean, I know not a lot of people are going to parties these days, but, I committed to this party weeks ago, but, something in my intuition is just telling me I got to get up early. I have to do my workout. I have to meal prep, and I'm going to say no. And it's not because I don't love you. It's not because I don't care for you. It's because I'm honoring myself and I have a boundary. So I think just paying attention to how we feel internally and physically is huge. Like for me, I've noticed when I'm not honoring my boundaries, I feel it a lot in my tummy. So that's where my stress builds up, is in my stomach. So when I'm feeling like uncertain or unaware or just like overwhelmed by something, I will feel that in my stomach. Sometimes people will feel it in their chest. They can feel it in their back, their neck. So I think just kind of listening to those cues, because your physical body talks to you. The problem is we don't typically listen to our internal body until it is too late, and then our physical starts manifesting health issues, diseases, stress. Stress is a killer for sure. So we want to try to alleviate that as much as possible. You have to do what makes you feel good. So if something doesn't feel good, it probably isn't in your best interest, and it probably is not in your highest good. And that is a hard order to meet, because we're taught as women, men I'm sure have this a little bit too, but women especially, because we're the nurturers, we're supposed to just be there for everyone, make everything work, micromanage, prioritize everyone else, and that is complete bullshit. And I really have learned over the last few years that if you don't put yourself first, you will pay dearly. And it may be at the cost of goals. It may be at the cost of really feeling secure in yourself and your confidence. It may be sacrificing things that are important to you because you're in fear that other people might take it the wrong way, or they might, just not understand, or they're going to feel like you don't care for them. But you have to recognize that by having your own boundaries, you're actually teaching others a lot about themselves and teaching them maybe to have boundaries as well. So something in my own life, I had someone today reach out to me. I've already established the boundary several times. They keep pushing and they keep trying to push the boundary and get me to bend. And today I just said, this is my boundary, and I'm going to stick with it because this is what I feel is necessary, and this is my boundary. So no. And that's all you have to say. And people will adjust. There will always be someone who you're not enough for, or who that doesn't like you, or that thinks you're this or thinks you're that, and you really can't live your life for others. You can love others the best to your ability, but you can't. This is your path. This is your lifetime that you have to walk the path. You cannot sacrifice your own needs and your own goals to appease another. And if you do, I promise you, you will be filled with regret and sadness at the end of this journey. So that doesn't mean don't love others. Don't put others, you don't want to put them before you. You definitely want to make them a priority. But having the boundary of just saying no, or no thank you, or you know what, I don't think that's really a fit for me, but I appreciate it. There's nice ways to say it. I think that it's important though, because I've been a people pleaser in my life, I have also been on the end of where I've felt at the end of it like taken advantage of and resentful. And those are really low vibrating energies, and you don't want to feel that way. You want to be able to be empowered and say, you know what, I have a backbone and I'm going to say no. I'm not, Pablo Picasso had a quote that I loved, and it was, there are two types of women. There are goddesses and there are doormats. And for me, I will never be a doormat. So I think just really being able to advocate for yourself, that doesn't mean be obnoxious, but it means being able to say no thank you, or hey, you know what, I don't want to be around that. Or, that's really not in alignment with who I am. And sometimes it takes a while to get to that, but I feel like once you do, it becomes easier. It's like working out in the gym, right? The first time you work out, oh my gosh, you feel like you're gonna like seriously die. And then, you keep going and you get stronger and you build muscle memory and resistance and endurance and you acclimate yourself. So it's the same thing. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is learning how to prioritize yourself. I have some notes here because otherwise I'll just ramble. So prioritizing yourself is very important. I personally have a paper planner. I learned a long time ago that writing things down is really impactful for me. And the reason why is because I feel like when I write something, it becomes real. Like it's like it becomes concrete. When I just type it in my phone, which I do use my Google Calendar as well, but when I actually write something in a paper planner, I feel like it's more legitimate and it's more stable. So I think that's really important. It's definitely worked well for me. I write all of my sessions that I have with clients in my book. I also put my own workouts in there as well and my cardio, and I track that not only on my app that I had made for my company, but I track it by writing it down. So someone may say, hey, that's a lot of tracking, but it's important because you want to be diligent. You want to be able to really, really track your progress, track what you're doing. So that way at the end of the month, you can say, you know what? I really pushed myself and I really worked hard, and I'm going to give myself a pat on the back because it is so easy to be mean to ourselves. Over the last decade working in the health and fitness industry, that's one thing I really can say is most people look at themselves with really negative like mindset and viewpoint. And I think a part of my passion and my job is to be able to teach people how to reframe that so that they're able to really give themselves kudos when it's deserved. Like we know when we're slacking off, but a lot of times most people are not tracking what they're doing, so they're not really cognizant of their success and their progress. So I do think that that's really, really important. I also think planning your day out beforehand. So I'm a big like advocate of like making to-do lists. And I just do that in my notepad on my phone, or I write it out. And it just helps me kind of stay on track. Like, hey, today I'm going to do this, 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 this. And I always make sure that I'm included in that procedure. It's not going to just be about, okay, I need to go here, go there, go here. I write things like, hey, I'm going to meditate. I'm going to take an Epsom salt bath. I'm going to do my workout. I'm going to walk the dogs. I'm going to paint my nails. I'm going to do, a facial mask, whatever. It doesn't even have to be things that cost money. You can just do something that's for you. And I mean, living in Colorado, we have so much beauty around us. I live like 10 minutes from this awesome like outdoor park. Well, it's not really a park. It's like a hiking area. I mean, I could just grab my dogs and go up there and just enjoy the afternoon with my dogs. And that's really cathartic for me. It just makes me feel centered and alive. So I feel like going into nature is a really, really healing thing that we can do, and it doesn't cost anything. It just requires planning and action and putting yourself first, So I think that just being able to really like have that mindset of like, okay, what am I going to do today that's just for me? And I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of moms who really, really are just like super moms. I mean, they work out, they take care of themselves, they make time to do their nails and do their makeup, and they're great moms in the process. But the beautiful thing about that, and I say moms in particular because I think culturally, mothers in our culture are taught to like really put themselves last. So when I've met women who are moms and are able to really like just be number one in their book, they're doing a lot for themselves, but they're also teaching their children, because children will do what they see, not exactly what they're told. So they're teaching their children subliminally, like, hey, you take care of yourself. You work out, 4 times a week. You make sure that you take the time for you. If you're feeling exhausted that day, I mean, like if you had a kid and they were exhausted, are you going to make them go run laps? Or if they have a cold, are you going to make them run laps? No, you're going to say, hey, you need to go eat some dinner and rest. So sometimes we have to like mother ourselves. And that may seem like a strange concept to mother ourselves, but we kind of have to. It's so easy to do it for other people, but what about us? So a mantra that I challenge you to use over, forever, maybe the next week, is me first, or what about me? Because if you can really start to tune into that, you're gonna change your entire life. And it doesn't come from a selfish place. It comes from a wise place because you're able to advocate for yourself and love yourself enough to put yourself first. And by doing that, that energy overflows, and then you're able to do more for others. Because I have to say, like, one of my languages of love is I love being of service to other people. I really believe that's why I was put on this earth, is to help other people. But I can't help other people if I'm not 100%. And I've learned that, you know what I mean? So that doesn't mean when you try to reach a goal that you're not going to have obstacles. Of course you are. If we didn't have obstacles, we would be spineless. We would have no reference point to learn how to be stronger and do it better. So, you know, even the failure, like learning how to change failure, change it mentally, reframe it, and learn how, like, you know what, wow, I really sucked at that, I failed, but you know what, I'm going to do better the next time because now I know more, versus letting it define you. So plan your day, to-do lists, making sure even at the end of the night, take an inventory of, hey, what did I do today for myself? So for me today, I went on a walk. I walked my dogs. I did my workout. I painted my nails. I did a deep conditioning treatment on my hair because I took my extensions out and my hair is like wrecked. So, you know, just doing those things, you know what I mean? Meal prepping, going to the store and getting healthy food so you're not spending all kinds of money eating out, you know? Have that be a treat, not a lifestyle. So I think just finding the balance between not only setting boundaries, but also self-prioritizing really is huge. And this is not going to be easy, especially for the ladies out there, because this is deep-rooted conditioning that we've been taught since we were very little. And it's liberating to be able to be free from that, because like I said, you cannot save another unless you save yourself. You have to put yourself first. So, me first, what about me? Those are really good mantras. Also, how do I feel about this? Like, where am I feeling it? So for me, like, I'm very empathic, so I feel people's energy very deeply, sometimes too much. And so I think really focusing on, like, and we all have it. We all have this internal knowing of intuition. We're blessed with it, but we have to listen to it. So I know probably all of you watching have been through a situation in your life where you're like, I don't know about this. Something doesn't feel right. Listen to that. There is a reason why you have that. It's there for a reason. You have to be able to listen to that, even in terms of, you know, like, I remember one time, this was a coach years ago that I worked with. He had me take this supplement, and I took it and I just did not like it. There was just something about it. It like did not mesh well with my body. Now, some people would just say, oh, well, he's my coach. I got to do it. I got to do whatever the coach says. He's the authority figure. No, you're the authority figure. This is your coach. You hired them to be your coach, you know? But that doesn't mean they know everything about you or they know your body better than you. You have to advocate for yourself and know your own body. And I told him that I didn't care for the supplement, and he was a teacher in my life, and he argued with me, pushed back. I ended up not taking the supplement anymore because I didn't like the way it made me feel. Years later, I did more research and I learned more about the supplement. It wasn't really something that was in alignment with who I am or just my model of training. So, you know, I had to listen to myself. And it's not going to always be easy to do that because you will always get pushback. But if you listen to your own internal knowing, despite what everything else is going on around you, you will be much more happy, and you will also have a lot more stability and neutrality in your energy. So, and again, I'll touch on this again, is when you put yourself first, you are actually modeling that for other people. They may not recognize it at first, but you're teaching them something. You're teaching them how to have healthy boundaries. And a lot of us were not taught that, you know? And so I think just being able to really model that and be strong. I've always really admired people that are just like strong and, you know what, this is how I feel, and, you know, they are who they are without apologies. And I really respect that because we need more of that, I feel like, and that doesn't mean disrespecting someone else in the process. It just means respecting yourself, and you are the top of the authority. So with that, I think that you just have to really focus on the boundaries and the self-care, because it's crazy times right now. So it's easy to let those fall to the wayside, and it's just super important. So, I appreciate you guys tuning in for this. I have been doing my weekend Zoom workouts with clients. Last week we had a huge turnout. I do the workouts with them. It's like a class, so so far there was about 10 people, and it's just a great time. So if you're a Carma Fitness client, you can join in for free, whether you're remote or in person. Or if you're not a Carma Fitness client, it's just $10 drop-in. So if you're interested in joining any of those classes, please let me know. Or you can always check out my website and check out all the natural transformations on there, www.carmafitness.life. We build beautiful bodies from the inside out naturally, drug-free. And I appreciate you guys so much. And I hope that you got something from this live. I think it is super, super important to make sure you are at the top of your list every day. Every day. And you know what? Some days are just not going to be your day. That's life. So what do? We go to sleep, and when we wake up, we're reborn, and we're able to do better. So no day is wasted. You just have to recognize, like, you know what? I really should have had a better boundary. Or you know what? I really should have put myself first. Or you know what? I need to be getting better sleep. I need to be eating more often. I need to be drinking more water. I need to go outside and be in nature. And the more that we can do that, the better we're going to feel. And the better we feel, the better our lives end up, because this is our life. And I wish you well. And with that, I'll let you guys go. And I hope to see you at the Zoom workouts. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any topics that you would like to talk about during these Q&As every Friday night. I would love to entertain that. Next Friday, we're going to actually have 4 of my competitors, my natural competitors on. We're going to do a Zoom conference call. So I'm really excited for that. One of them is actually going to be doing a show next weekend in Vegas. So she's going to be doing her Zoom from her hotel room. So I'm really excited for you guys to hear their feedback and kind of, just see what their journeys have been like. They've all been different. Some of them are moms. Some of them, this is their first show, first time really ever learning how to lift weights or learn about nutrition. So I think it's good perspective to see other people's journeys, so that way you can apply it to your own journey. And I hope you guys take care, and I'm sending you lots of love. See you later. Bye.